Yo, hey guys, Smallmouth Crush. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the Monster Bass grab bag, go-to bag, tackle bag, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be a great all-around fishing bag. I'm going to break it down and share with you some of the different scenarios where I can see myself using this. So a lot of times I'm actually fishing out of this boat and all my tackle stored in compartments, but this is actually going to be a good go-to bag on my boat, and I'm thinking about just putting baits and tackle that I'm going to use on a regular basis or have access to throughout the day. Throw it in the front compartment here and kind of have a day box or my go-to box. So this bag's also going to work great if you're fishing the shoreline, if you're fishing the bank and you need something to carry your gear. If you're fishing as a co-angler or you're getting in a buddy's boat, this is going to be a great little deal where you can just put the baits that you think or know you're going to use that day right here in this bag. So when you get the Monster Bass bag, you're actually going to get 3 of the 3700 series storage containers, which is great. They all fit perfectly right here in the bag, and you'll be able to put your baits in there. Now it has a hard side in the back as well as on the bottom, so it's going to support some weight. The bag's really nicely made, so you can access those boxes by a front flap, or you can actually open up the top here and grab it. And then it's got a zipper storage, and there's actually 2 storages on the side with a mesh bag on both sides, and then there's also a little storage strap here on the top. So plenty of room to put some stuff in. Let's go fill this thing up. So the fact I can fit 3 3700 boxes in here is awesome. For me, this bag's gonna be used in 2 ways. Number 1, I do a little bit of bank fishing. In fact, right behind me, there's a walking trail that leads to a lake that's full of fish. And so if I wanted to go down there, I would just go over here. I got a bunch of tackle on the wall as well as some other boxes. So instead of carrying a bunch of crankbaits in many different styles and colors, which I carry in the boat, when I'm on the shoreline or if I'm going fishing in someone else's boat, I don't have the luxury of bringing all of my tackle. So I'm going to pick and choose. So I'm going to fill these boxes based on the type of fishing or the different techniques that I feel like I'm going to be doing that day. So if I'm going with someone else in their boat, or if I'm going to go for a walk down the lake down here, all I have to do is fill these up with the baits I'm going to use. I'll show you how I do that, and we'll kind of go through a couple different scenarios here of what I would put in these boxes. Okay, first things first, we're going to have to load these up with the dividers. Real simple, comes with all the dividers that you need, and we're just going to pop them in there. All right, actually probably don't need all of them in there, but. So for instance, I'm going to be heading down to the lake down by my house here, and I'm just going to actually be fishing from the trail. And there's a couple areas in there that has a little bit of rock, and believe it or not, it's actually still pretty cool up here in the north part of the country. And so I'm going to be doing a lot of flat side cranking and just slower type of crankbaits. And so I have a whole box of, say, Shad Raps. So Rapala Shad Rap, one of my favorite cold water crankbaits, but I don't need this whole box of Shad Raps. So what we're going to do is just grab a couple colors that I think we're going to have some good success with out there. And so I keep things basic, although, so this is like my main storage box, right? This is my main storage box for Shad Raps. I don't need them all, but I want to make sure I pick and bring a few select colors. So I know I'm going to use a size 5 Rapala more than anything, a size 5 Shad Rap. So I want a chrome color. I also want a little crayfish color. I know there's some perch down there that they feed on, so I'm going to bring a perch colored one. So I'm really just going to bring 3 of these Shad Raps. So instead of bringing this huge box with all the baits, I'm just going to grab these 3 that I think I'll probably use when I'm down there. So I think we're going to do a little jerkbait fishing as well down there. Of course, I'm not going to bring all these jerkbaits, so I'm going to again pick out a couple select colors and styles that I think I'll be using, and we're just going to throw those. Bring a natural color and just a perch color should be fine. Then same deal, we're going to be probably throwing some bottom baits, so some finesse baits as well. I'm going to use the Beast Coast open water sniper jig, which has been a great football head jig, but again, I don't need I don't need 20 pounds of jig heads here, so I'm just gonna grab a handful. We're gonna stay with some darker colors, so I got straight black in there, and then I'm just gonna grab some green pumpkins as well. All right, because I'm just heading down to the lake, I don't need all 3 of the 3700s, but I do need some room for some of my soft plastics. So a lot of times I'll keep the soft plastics in the bags that they come in, and because I don't need all of these 3700s, I'm actually gonna be able to take out a few and then put some of the plastics in here as well. But if you had the 337s full, there's still plenty of room on top here for bags of plastic if you choose to. All right, let's go over to the wall. I know I'll be throwing some Ned rigs, some finesse Ned rigs, so I'm just gonna grab green pumpkin Z-Man, do yoga pants as well, so those are gonna come with me down there. So I'm probably gonna throw some smaller swim baits as well. So we'll take some 2.8s rainbow shad, and then I'm gonna grab straight black. We're gonna bring those with us. And I'm also gonna throw some of the minnows. Okay, so I am going to need some leader material as well, so we're going to see what we got for line. I just need some 8-pound fluorocarbon, so that'll work great. Of course, we got some side compartments we can put some line in, or you got a mesh side right there that's perfect for that spool. I'm going to bring my scissors, pliers, and I forgot, we're going to definitely need some chatterbaits. Again, don't want to carry this big bag, so we're just going to put a few in here. I do know I need a handful of green pumpkin jackhammers, so we're going to throw that in there, and then I'll be able to use that Z-Man minnows is a really good chatterbait trailer, so we got those already. I guess we should throw some dream shots in there, because I do want to do a little drop shotting down there as well. Alright, now that we got that all set, there's probably stuff I'm always forgetting. I did forget something. So believe it or not, just a little tip, a little tackle tip. A lot of guys are not throwing these, but I throw them quite a bit. As strange as it sounds, a little rooster tail. Year round, but especially this time of year in the colder temps, this will come into play. And both smallmouth and largemouth, guys just don't do them. I have obviously a little box here full of inlines that I'll throw on a regular basis. So since this box is small enough, I'm actually just going to be able to throw it. I'll take the whole thing with me. No need to pick out little rooster tails, but with that, if you're going to throw a rooster tail, I throw it on a spinning rod, like a 7-foot medium light fluorocarbon as your main line, or if you choose to go like braid to a fluorocarbon leader, I would go with 5 or 8 pound test braid to either 6 or 8 pound fluorocarbon leader if you're going to throw those inlines. I promise you, they're very effective. Now this bag is great. It's actually got, oh, I didn't even know that. It's got another Velcro. It's got a little deal in the front too for some more stuff. Man, nice little bag, shoulder strap and all. Put whatever you need in there. Listen, go-to box, day box, your general fishing box. I'm going to use it to store a lot of gear as well. Hats, gloves, things like that. Maybe an extra jacket in here. There'll be plenty of room for that. There you have it, my review on the Monster Bass bag. Things legit. I'm going to get me a couple of these because I got a bunch of applications for these. I'm going to use one for salmon and steelhead fishing. A lot of times we're going in little aluminum boats, smaller boats where we need the room. I don't have a whole lot of gear when it comes to the steelhead and salmon, so this will be perfect for that. Again, go-to bag, day bag, travel bag if you're a co-angler, or of course if you're just walking the banks at your local pond, this is going to be a great bag for that. Hey guys, do me a favor and subscribe to the Monster Bass channel if you haven't already. Also, if you want to check out more great fishing videos, you can head on over to my YouTube channel, Smallmouth Crush. And as always, until next time, we'll see you guys on the water. That's where I'm going.